Legislature in Guam is back from recess. We have one more item in our second reading folder before we proceed to the voting, and the folders will be passed out for our third reading. However, we will now take up Resolution 579.
Resolution 579-370, COR. Speaker Therese, you are acknowledged.
I'd like to move resolution number 579-37 COR to the third reading file. This is introduced by Senator Therese Terlahi, Senator Frank Blas Jr., Senator Tello Taitagui, Senator Chris Barnett, Senator Sabina Flores Perez, Senator Jesse Lujan, and Senator Joanne Brown. It is relative to censuring the disorderly, sexually explicit gesture committed by Senator William A. Parkinson during the October 2024 emergency legislative session. The resolution reads, whereas the Guam Legislature requires that all senators conduct themselves in a manner that reflects the highest standards of professionalism, respect, and integrity during legislative sessions and in their interactions with colleagues, staff, and the public. And whereas the Guam Legislature has the right to regulate the conduct of its members and may discipline a member as it deems appropriate. And whereas during an emergency legislative session on October 22, 2024, while Senator Joanne Brown was recognized and engaged in debate during Committee of the Whole on the session floor, Senator William A. Parkinson made a disorderly, sexually explicit hand gesture, more accurately described as a hand-jerking motion depicting male masturbation angled towards Senator Brown. The gesture was not caught on live video broadcast, but was made in full view of the legislative body and members of the public and caused significant interruption, annoyance, inconvenience, and distress. And whereas the incident was witnessed by several members of the public, including members and staff of the Mayor's Council of Guam, who were in attendance to support a floor amendment related to funding for the council. President of the Mayor's Council of Guam, Jesse Alex, submitted a letter to the Speaker of the Legislature on the same day, expressing that he was, quote, appalled, outraged, and insulted at the demeanor of Senator Parkinson, end quote, and requested discernment of ethical misconduct. And whereas Senator Parkinson's disorderly, sexually explicit hand gesture during debate on Bill 355-37 caused significant inconvenience, annoyance, and distress to some members of the legislative body and public who were present in the session hall and can reasonably be construed as disorderly, sexually explicit conduct specifically directed against a female colleague, creating a hostile and inappropriate environment for women and men within the legislature, and setting a dangerous precedent for the treatment of women. And whereas the Legislature in Guam recognizes that adherence to decorum and orderly debate is essential to the equality of all members and maintaining public trust, and any violation of these standards must be addressed promptly and decisively to preserve the dignity and integrity of the institution. Whereas formal censure must be taken against Senator Parkinson's disorderly, sexually explicit gesture as a clear statement that such behavior will not be tolerated on the floor of the Guam Legislature during legislative session. Those are the whereas clauses in the resolution, and there are two resolved clauses, one that says resolved, that the Committee on Rules of Imina 37 na Legislature in Guam does hereby censure Senator William A. Parkinson for his disorderly and sexually explicit gesture towards a member of the legislature during the October 2024 emergency legislative session, and be it further resolved that the Speaker and Chairperson of the Committee on Rules certify and Legislative Secretary attest to the adoption hereof, and that copies of the same be thereafter transmitted to Senator William A. Parkinson and to Senator Chris Barnett, Chairman of the Committee on Rules. That is the resolution that is being proposed. This resolution stems from a letter received by the President of the Mayor's Council, Mayor Jesse L.G. Alec, Mayor of PD and President, Mayor's Council of Guam, dated October 22, 2024, where he says, Hafaday Speaker Terlahi, at today's emergency session, many mayors, vice mayors, and our staff were present to lobby for funding to the Mayor's Council of Guam for operations and salaries. Within the discourse of the Committee of the Whole, the chairperson recognized Senator Joanne Brown. As Senator Brown was speaking, Senator William Parkinson interjected and requested to speak. After consideration, the chairperson ruled that Senator Brown would complete her remarks and then give the floor to Senator Parkinson. For obvious reasons, Senator Parkinson was not pleased and began to make sexually explicit hand gestures toward Senator Brown. These actions were witnessed by each one of us on the balcony of the session floor. As elected officials of our island, we place our hands over our hearts and proudly sing, Para y honra, para y gloria. The single action of Senator Parkinson does not honor our beloved Guahan and should not be taken in jest. We trust that the business assumed in the Guam Congress building is fair, just, and ethical. I am appalled, outraged, and insulted at the demeanor of Senator Parkinson and request your discernment of ethical misconduct. The people of Guam expect our senators to debate and discuss policy with respect for one another and as stewards of our island home. This single act of wrongdoing has overpowered Senator Parkinson's good intentions for the Mayor's Council of Guam. Sincerely, Jesse L.G. Alec, Mayor of PD, President, Mayor's Council of Guam. Bringing this resolution to the floor brings me no joy. I don't remember this ever being done, and I'm not happy to be doing this against one of my colleagues, but I do believe that despite our relationships, we have a responsibility to ensure that we're going to be able to raise girls and women here on Guam who are going to be able to speak out as senators or in any other capacity that they want without being harassed, particularly with sexually explicit gestures. We can be blamed, we can be criticized, we can be accused of things, which we have seen even today in the session floor. And we're all accustomed to taking it. And I'm sure Senator Brown is tough. She can take almost anything that any senator wants to throw at her. But I just don't want our legislature to be the one that goes down in history and sets this example for the girls and women of Guam, that we turn the other way when this kind of behavior is happening. It shouldn't happen anywhere on Guam. I'm going to leave it at that. And I ask my colleagues for their support.
Buen provecho. Anyone else on the resolution, on the main resolution? Anyone else? Minority Leader Blauscher, recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I can relate to the sentiments expressed by the author of the resolution, good speaker. And it never is comfortable, if you will, to be able to take the actions that we call for in this resolution. But, Madam Speaker, I'm duty-bound as the minority leader to be able to not just stand by my colleague, but stand by, as was stated by the good speaker, the decorum, statesmanship, and the respect that we should be able to continue to exhibit. You know, I agree. Senator Brown is probably one of the toughest legislators I've ever worked with, who can take it and still keep a level head. But, however, at the same time, the actions that were taken were witnessed by the public, was addressed, was brought to our attention by observers of our actions, who was insulted, appalled by the actions by the gentleman. And this is never an easy thing, but at the same time, we are bound. You know, and I'm going to express my frustration, not just on this incident, but all the incidents that, when I came back into this legislature, one of the things that I saw that we were losing is respect amongst ourselves. Is the collegiality, is the agreements to disagree and to move forward. I've had heated arguments with different members of this body. You too, Madam Chair. But, you know, after that, we move forward. And I don't know, you can call it old school, the way it should be, the way it was, but the way it has to be. And maybe this is a warning shot to all of us, that this kind of action is not, shouldn't be tolerated here, certainly isn't tolerated by the community, because they're the ones who brought this. And, you know, all we want to do is be able to be respectful of each other. And granted, there will be times that we maybe get too hot under the collar, too heated, too hurt, that it will cause us to do irrational things or act irrationally, or, you know, without even thinking about it, go off on the deep end. But there's no such thing as apology and admittance of our wrongdoing and our mistake, of the actions that offended others, especially when it is seen by others. Many times when we've got people standing up in the gallery should be cognizant of that. Be cognizant that other than prior in times past when our sessions weren't televised, we weren't live. We are now under a bigger microscope. The expectation of our actions is greater. We're under greater scrutiny. You know, there's an old adage that says our actions speak louder than words. We asked for this job. In return, we should be respectful of it. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, Manager. I am in support of this resolution. Thank you.
You're welcome. Minority Leader, anyone else on the main resolution? If not, don't raise it fast enough, guys. I have Senator Barnett, Senator Paris, then Senator Tadigui. You may proceed, sir.
Sidus Masi, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of the resolution as I am a co-sponsor. And I just wanted to read a couple of correspondence that the Speaker and by extension the body has received relative to this incident. Hafaday Speaker, I'm writing to formally express my deep concern regarding the offensive behavior displayed during session on October 22nd, 2024. The conduct exhibited by Senator William Parkinson was not only unprofessional, but also created a discomforting and unwelcoming environment for discourse and deliberation. It is imperative that our public hearings and sessions maintain a standard of respect and professionalism, which was unfortunately not upheld in this instance. The use of an inappropriate gesture and disregard for collegial decorum undermines the integrity of our collaborative efforts and the values our branch of government stands for. I urge that you take immediate action to address this matter, ensuring such incidents are not repeated. Our body's strength lies in our ability to communicate effectively and respectfully, and it is crucial that we all contribute to a positive and productive work atmosphere. Thank you for your attention to this serious issue. I trust that appropriate measures will be taken to rectify the situation and restore the professional standard of our hearings and sessions. Respectfully, Senator Frank Blas Jr., Minority Leader. Dear Speaker Terlahi, Hafaday, this letter is to express extreme disappointment with the behavior on the floor of the Guam Congress building today by Senator William A. Parkinson. The community is aware that emergency sessions are an important part of your standing rules called by your office, signaling to the legislative branch of government and our island community, certifying that an emergency exists in the U.S. territory. Bill 355-37 was being discussed, a serious call to address an emergency presented by a lack of funds for critical government agencies and their inability to run just 22 days into the government of Guam's new fiscal year. The lewd and immature act by a sitting senator minutes into deliberations in response to words shared by a senator and member of our party is reprehensible. We are hoping that your office will respond quickly to counsel Senator Parkinson for his actions, which we believe is conduct unbecoming of an elected official in Guam. This lewd act was witnessed by and corroborated by our island mayors, elected by the residents of our 19 districts, which has resulted in a strong response from Mayor's Council of Guam President Jesse L.G. Allig. We all must work together to solve the many problems facing our island today and continue to strive for collegiality in the face of challenging times in the service to all people of Guam. Sincerely, Sean Gumatata, Republican Party of Guam Chair. Now, I can already feel that some, to maybe include the subject of the resolution, might argue that these were partisan letters. But I just want to express how disappointed I was attending session that day, knowing that that had happened. And I had a thought to myself that it doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican, especially on Guam, coming from a matriarchal society. many of us raised by strong women, worthy of respect. I think it goes without saying that our women deserve that respect. And so I thought when this incident occurred that although the senator who committed this offense has been one of the governor's staunchest supporters, I thought for sure there was no way that they would condone this behavior. Unfortunately, they did. In fact, after the senator made that sexually explicit gesture that harassed a female colleague of ours, I saw the governor and other prominent women endorse Senator Parkinson. And these were some of the same individuals who just years ago were talking about the future being Familauan. But I guess that future only applies to the Familauan that they like, the women who are on their side. I just don't appreciate the hypocrisy of it. It doesn't matter what party people serve under. We're all worthy of respect, decorum. It does get heated in here. People yell, they talk over each other. You know, people like to criticize the leadership, but when you have senators who just show up and are beyond control, belligerent, how do you expect any leader to manage that, to maintain that? But I think what's been most disappointing about this for me is how easy it would have been for the senator to simply say sorry. Even now, as we speak, I see him feverishly writing on his paper, and I don't know what he's writing so much for. There's really only two words that the people of Guam want to hear. And those two words are, I'm sorry. Because I've heard the senator on the radio, and he continues to deny that he committed the sexually explicit gesture harassing a female member that was witnessed by duly elected representatives of the people. I heard him say on one talk show, oh, it was just, I don't know what they're talking about, it was a misunderstanding. And it reminds me of kids. When you get caught doing something and you lie about it. Parents out there, you ever catch your kid lying about something? And you ask them again, and they just got to keep lying because they have to stick to the story. Because if they are honest with you and they apologize, then you know they lied. But one thing about our people is they are willing to accept an apology. And that's something we never heard from this senator. And it's something that not just Senator Brown deserves, but all the women in this body deserve, all the members in this body deserve. Because we've taken a bad hit in the 37th Guam Legislature, but I think harassing women and making sexually explicit gestures is somewhere we should all, whether Republican or Democrat, draw the line. Sidus Masik, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity to speak on this resolution.
Buen provecho. Anybody else on the resolution? I saw Senator Sabina and then Senator Tideway.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I too find this difficult to speak out, and if I could just quote a couple of speakers. First with Mayor Alec. In his editorial, he writes, "The resolution speaks to the need for decorum, respect for one another, especially women. Our Chamorro culture is centered around the spirit of Anafat Malik, the restoring of harmony and order. Guam is a place where we revere our women, especially those who have served our public. The gesture was made towards Senator Joanne Brown, who has been a public servant on Guam for decades in a myriad of capacities. You don't have to agree with her politics. I don't always agree with her stance on some issues, but Senator Brown doesn't deserve to feel demeaned or disrespected. Senator Parkinson committed this act like he was with a couple of his frat buddies at a bar. Well, he wasn't. He was in that sacred place we call the Guam Legislature Session Hall, where some of Guam's greatest leaders, his father included, have introduced and passed important legislation. And Senator Parkinson flat out lied. I was in the room and witnessed him show that obscene and inappropriate gesture to his colleagues and visiting mayors and employees of the Mayor's Council, and now claims he doesn't know what happened. He also states, I've seen the comments on social media calling proponents of the resolution too sensitive and prudish, and to get over it. Anyone who knows me knows too well I'm not prude, and I have a very colorful sense of humor, but that's not even the point of this resolution. The other quote is from Soraya Chumali, award-winning author and activist, whose work focuses on expanding women's civic and political participation. Women put up with catcalls, lewd jokes, and being objectified every day, and society tells us to let it go. But we're sending the wrong message. As a society, we are contending with what it means to seriously tackle the obvious unfairness of gender discrimination and violence. However, the real work of any discrimination is not challenging the blunt, but challenging the banal. The insidious power of microaggressions is that you look like an idiot for challenging something so common and insignificant. It's like a pointillist painting, one small dot layered on top of another. No one alone represents anything that means anything, but put together over time, they make up a vivid, powerful, and coherent picture. The frame that bounds our lives is one in which the performance of masculinity continues to be more important than the rights, needs, dignity, and safety of girls and women. Getting angry in these moments, situations of insult, humiliation, threat, and risk is rarely an option for us. Even if it is the most rational response, and one that in men would be seen as normal and justifiable. One of the reasons it's so hard to defend ourselves is that we are socialized to bite our words and swallow our pride. Anger is still a taboo and emotion for girls and women, and so we display it cautiously. We internalize fears of being called crazy, irrational, ugly, or worse, and we anticipate mockery and retaliation. Studies show that in 75% of everyday incidents of sexism, racism, anti-Semitism, or heterosexism, women think about assertive responses, but we only stand up for ourselves 40% of the time. Unquote. And so this is why I stand in support of this measure, because we need to set an example for not only our women and girls, but for men as they try to find their way to a healthy masculinity. And more importantly, and also just as importantly, we need to reestablish decorum in this body. And with this, I ask the support of my colleagues. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else on the main resolution? Senator Tadegui, then Senator Nicholas.
Good evening, Madam Speaker, and good evening to my colleagues. Yes, it's very unfortunate that we are here this evening talking about something like this. I've never experienced, in my 4 terms as a senator, experienced anything like this. I mean, we all know we get angry, we get upset, moods will face each other, don't talk to each other. But something like this was just shocking. Shocking. That afternoon, I was chairing in the Committee of the Whole. And Senator Parkinson interrupted Senator Brown while she was speaking when it was her turn to debate on the floor with a point of information that was really more of a debate. I asked Senator Parkinson to allow Senator Brown to finish, and I will recognize him after, thinking he would just calm down, allow her to finish because he will be recognized. I watched Senator Parkinson while Senator Brown was speaking, and I noticed he was looking at the monitor, continuing to look at the monitor. And it wasn't just a few seconds after, he turns around and he does that gesture, that hand sexually just explicit, worse than showing the finger gesture to Senator Brown, and I was shocked. I saw the whole thing. I sit right in front of him and saw the whole entire thing. I was so shocked, I called for a recess. I was looking for legal to get advice how to move forward because this definitely needs to be addressed. And Senator Parkinson walked out. We waited a few minutes, composed ourselves, allowed Senator Brown to finish, which was, I know, difficult for her. And yes, she's one tough cookie. I've learned a lot from this woman. But I tell you one thing. If her father, and I know her dad is, he would have stood by his daughter, but he wouldn't have taken what one man did to her by sexually assaulting her, and he would be here today asking for Parkinson's head, like any father would do for their daughter when they're being sexually harassed. Any father, grandfather, brother, to their sister, their daughter, their granddaughter, they would do the same thing. Anyone who doesn't vote for this resolution, in favor of this resolution, is turning a blind eye. And if we allow this to go unanswered, what are we telling the people of Guam? That it's okay for us to act barbaric in this session hall? That we're immune from decorum? We're immune from anybody sexually harassing us? That's what will happen if you vote no for this resolution. That's what you're telling the people of Guam. It's clear and simple. I too was, after that happened that afternoon, it wasn't until 45 minutes later I find out that Senator Parkinson was on a blog with an individual, telling that individual he did nothing but was brushing off something on his shoulder. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, how can he bluntly lie like that when there were so many people watching? So many people saw him. And then I heard on Patty Arroyo's show that even Senator Fisher had mentioned what had happened on session floor. He saw it too. I think, Madam Speaker, I know what a good person Senator Brown is. She was just as shocked. But a simple apology, like Senator Barnett said, I was just hoping that he would at least apologize. And whatever's coming his way for his actions, well, you're not going to learn if you're not punished. And that's what we're here today for. Because if we allow this person to get off scot-free, and the next person does something like this, all they have to say is, well, you let Senator Parkinson get away with it, so can I. So we have to make a stand in this body that it's not tolerated, that we hold ourselves at a higher standard for the people of Guam. And it's never too late, Senator Parkinson, to apologize. It's never too late. I stand in full support of this resolution and ask my colleagues to do the same. And if this was your daughter, your granddaughter, I'm pretty sure you'll be asking the colleagues to do the same, to vote in favor of this resolution. I'm pretty sure of that. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Dwayne Nicholas, you are recognized on the resolution. You may proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I don't support the measure. I don't support the resolution. I got a reason. Kind of like the guy that takes things on a case-by-case basis. I'm not going to stand here or sit here and listen to this witch hunt. A good friend of mine, Senator Parkinson, I'm going to give you a little lesson on loyalty. You're good for the people of Guam, Senator Parkinson. You've passed a lot of good measures. Good bills became law. You did a lot of good for the people of Guam. And you try to weigh what good does he bring? The actions that he's done. Does this trial, does this witch hunt, does this action by our body, is it commensurate to the good that Senator Parkinson does? And I say it doesn't, it's unequal, it doesn't balance out. In the 17th century, they had a witch trial. I don't know if you know it. It's called the Salem Witch Hunt. Everybody thought these little girls were witches. They thought they were possessed by the demons and the devil. Come to find out, it was church politics. It could have been some type of disease that drove them mad, and some family feuding about land. It took several centuries for us to determine that it was unwarranted and those girls were actually, in fact, innocent. I cannot forgive, in my own understanding of spirituality, I cannot forgive Senator Parkinson for Senator Joanne Brown. She's going to have to be the one to do that. But I wasn't here in the room, and if I was to be offended the same way, I forgive you. I forgive you. You've done such tremendous good for the people of Guam, and we shouldn't turn our eyes to what good you have brought in this last term, in this term. And I've discovered in the past couple of years is two things are so strong, love and forgiveness. And Senator Parkinson, I'm willing to forgive you. And we've just elected a president who's done far worse than you, and I was found guilty in the court of law. But yet, even the people of the United States found him worthy to be forgiven and to be our next president. And I wanted to point out that the gesture that Senator Parkinson, in the Urban Dictionary here, I know it's not academic, but it is something of social significance. It says, when someone mimes the gesture, it signifies some of the following: boredom during a conversation, annoyance at what is being said by someone, or typically shows what is going on that is pointless, and there you have a gesture. So they give some examples here. Speaking on the phone with somebody who doesn't know when to shut up, so you do the gesture. Someone saying something you think is stupid, so you do the gesture, and you think of them. And then someone who is pontificating on a subject you find that is stupid or pointless, with a great air of pomposity and pretense, and then you do the gesture. And so even in social situations, as such as what the Urban Dictionary has pointed out, it's a gesture, not sexually in nature, which a lot of people are pointing out tonight, and for some reason it seems like a witch hunt. It's a gesture of disappointment or dissatisfaction with what is being said. And I don't believe Senator Parkinson did that to assault Senator Brown. And for me, personally, I wouldn't do such a thing here. And I would ask Senator Parkinson to exercise a little bit more restraint. And with that, Madam Speaker, I forgive Senator Parkinson. He does tremendous good for the people of Guam, and I wish that he continued to do as we move forward as he moves forward in his next term, and I wish him well. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
You're welcome. Anyone else? If not, Senator Brown, you are recognized on the resolution.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I certainly couldn't allow an opportunity like this to pass and not speak. And you're right, colleagues, I'm probably one of the toughest legislators you're ever going to serve with. And I've served with some pretty formidable colleagues over the years, some who've been fathers of members of this legislature. I was never raised, Madam Speaker, to ever think that I was less because I was a girl. I used to crawl under the car with my dad when he'd fix his cars and hand him the tools that he needed. And I was right there with him every step of the way, because I was not less because I was a girl. I can use a chainsaw, I can use a hand cutter, I can use a bush cutter, I can use a drill, I know how to pour concrete. Don't drink beer. But was never less because I was a girl. And in the times that I've served here, and I have, as I mentioned, served with some formidable colleagues, some smarter, some sharper, some even more, just a little bit more articulate on the floor, who didn't need notes to speak or remember what they had to say. And even when they were my opponents, I admired their ability to do what they do because they had conviction and they believed in what they believed, even if we were on opposite ends of an issue. And we've had some debates, and I've certainly had my share over the years. But I have to tell you, I've never been so disrespected on the floor of this legislature. And I'm not speaking because, oh, woe is me. I will not shy away. I'm not your shy little girl that's going to go, oh, it's okay. We have too many women in this community that are victimized. Yeah, there's some men too, but most cases it's women in this community that are victimized, that are sexually harassed, that are demeaned, that are abused, made to feel less because they're a girl. There is nothing to justify what happened. What was even more disturbing for me, Madam Speaker, it's never sometimes the crime, it's what you do to cover the crime. When our good colleague, Senator Parkinson, went before the public and the media and then denied what he did and lied about it. We don't always have to agree, and as a matter of fact, we shouldn't always agree on the floor. That's why we're here. We're not here to all be in unison, in agreement on every issue. As a matter of fact, we're supposed to challenge each other. Hopefully, in the course of debate, we come up with a better solution for the people that we say we're here to represent. That's what debate is all about. If we were all in unison, it would be scary. But we should have the right to get on this floor as we are duly elected and say what we have to say on behalf of the constituency and the people of Guam that elected us to office. We all represent a constituency. That's why we're here. And we shouldn't have fear of doing that. But I have to tell you, and yeah, I'm an old-timer. I first came in this body 30 years ago. 42 years ago, I was a youth leader sitting where you're sitting, Madam Speaker. That's how far my history goes in this very hall, before we moved down the street for 20-plus years. But coming back, and I came back for a very specific reason, not to be senator, been there, done that. I was here in my 20s as a senator. But I had very specific reason why I came back, because there weren't check and balances in this body. This body was rolling over. And that's not representative democracy. But I have to tell you in coming back, what I've observed, the disrespect is worse. And like I've said, I have served with some titans in this government, some pretty tough, smart colleagues. And I've never felt less in taking them on the floor of the legislature. But I see more of it now. I see the disdain. I see the hate for women leaders that speak out. I see the disdain for strong women that speak out. And by all means, certainly I fall in that category, even though I'm just a girl. Because there's some that really can't stand it. They hate it. I don't know what those hang-ups are. I don't even want to know. But I have to tell you, it is not okay. I would never have imagined that my time in the legislature would be finished with this discussion. But I'm not a victim. I wouldn't put up with this under other circumstances, because yeah, I am somebody's daughter. I am somebody's mother. And this is not okay. And it's not about politics, because I already see the alignment. Let's see how this vote comes down. Really, it's going to be interesting. Because, hey, we got to protect our gangs, man. Come on, guys. How sad. You know, I grew up in a time when I graduated from high school when women had every opportunity ahead of them, when we had every opportunity to be anything we wanted to be. We didn't have to settle for being somebody's wife or the nurse or just the teacher or the limited career options women had, the secretary or the sexetary. And yet here we are, 42 years later, and women are still having to go through this type of harassment. Because what, a debate? To have comments like old hag directed to one of my colleagues here, not once but twice, because a colleague is speaking on the floor because she has her opinion. I think except for Senator Amanda, I think every other female in this legislature is over 50. Is that what we're going to tell our mothers out there, our older sisters, the older women in our community? If anything, that age should demand respect because of all the things women have to carry in their life. Not just bearing their children, but taking care of their children, taking care of their spouses during challenging times, during times of health crisis, during times of death. But old hag, well, I hadn't heard that in years. And then what Senator Parkinson did that day, what did he tell the media? That Senator Tello Taitigui was a Karen. Senator Parkinson, who interjected because he didn't agree with what I had to say. You know, I get to say what I want to say on the floor. I get to account for my own actions with what I say, but don't think I'm casual about what I say. I'm well aware of what I'm saying when I say it. Because I don't have my written script up here to read. So I got to make sure it's in my brain so that it comes out of my mouth the way I intended to. But isn't that what bullies do? All of a sudden, it's Senator Tello that's the problem. She's a Karen. Do we have a similar word for men in our society? And then act like we're the victim? We're the victim? I don't agree with everything that's said on this floor, Madam Speaker. There's some things that I hear, I'm just, oh my goodness, did that person say that? I don't agree. But do you see me jumping up every 2 seconds interjecting? Point of information, point of personal privilege. Do you see me cutting off everybody every time they speak, even when I don't agree with them? Well, everybody's got the right to say what they have at it. Say what you got to say. Put your argument out there. But some of us think, oh, we just got here with our training wheels, and oh, we learned to make a few motions, and we're going to make those motions. We're going to be the timekeeper when we're here. When we actually show up to session, and yeah, I get to speak, because you know what? I haven't missed a session yet. And if I'm not here for a few hours because I have a doctor's appointment to go to or I have a death in my family. Otherwise, the last 4 years, I have been here. I'm not out paying chess when we have emergency session for DOE. And then have excuses made on the floor that, oh, we're sick. But we think this is a game. Some people think this is a game. Out of the 5 new senators this term, and certainly I'm okay, I didn't get elected, it's okay. Thank you, people of Guam, for the honor. But how many didn't get reelected? 3 out of 5. I can actually borrow, Speaker San Augustine's term and say, you know what, I'm tried and true. I've served my time. I've survived 16 years in this body through such a 30-year span. I'm grateful. Senator Parkinson, you should be grateful. You're fortunate you got reelected. Several of your other colleagues did not. I think we need to reevaluate moving forward, including those of you that will move forward, that to make sure you can debate. We used to debate, but you know what? We also used to be able to sit down and break bread together because it wasn't all personal. Now it's so personal. We don't like somebody's position. Oh my God, we hate them with a passion. And nowadays with social media, we're even more negative because, oh, we can put all kinds of garbage out there. All that lovely negativity that we live with and the anger we live with every day. And somehow we're supposed to do better for the people of Guam. I'm not speaking because, oh, Joanne Brown was victimized by this. Yeah, that happened and it's not okay. What's worse is lying about it because that tells me about your character. You know, I come from a time when your word should mean something. That when you give your word, you stand by it. You're not wishy-washy. You don't change your position midstream or just lie about it because you know what? You think if you talk enough, maybe that's the new truth. Where we don't have honor, where we don't have respect. Maybe we need to think about that. How much is your word worth who you are? We make pledges at the beginning of the term, and by the time the term has ended, we have probably broken every one of them. Kogai respeto or tai respeto? Which is it? Is it Guy or Tai? But it's sad to say in this day and age, 2024, that women still have to go through this kind of nonsense. Because I'll tell you, I can outdo or challenge anyone on this floor to articulate or orate on this floor, minus my notes and my phone, and my comments written by my staff to ask or say. Anybody working for me knows they don't need to write my speech. But if this is allowed on the floor of this legislature and we try to rationalize this action because, oh, we got to protect our bud, our man, our guy, yeah. We all can do a lot of things, but you know what? When we do bad things, especially in this particular case, then you know what? We need to be held responsible for it because it doesn't set the right message out to our children out there. It doesn't set the right message out to men out there that need to respect the women in this community, as we in turn need to as well. It's not okay. And when we let this kind of stuff slide, then we're acknowledging, oh, it's okay to do that. Think about that to the next woman that's abused out there, the next woman that's sexually harassed. And let's not kid ourselves. You can put all the no harassment signs on every building in Guam, and you think it's not happening? You think somebody who's got a position of power is not trying to leverage that? Take advantage of someone else? because they think they got the power to do it, it's not okay. And as time has gone on, more and more women are in positions of leadership. Good luck, because it's not okay. Nowadays, even the most richest, famous, important people, at least in the United States lately, we're seeing how they get brought down because of how they've conducted themselves and how they've abused the authority that they've had. And by all means, sure, hire an attorney. Hire the attorneys to file, because it's not right. We deserve our humanity. Everyone deserves their humanity. Every woman and child and man in this community deserves their humanity, and we should respect each other. If we did, we wouldn't have the kind of violence and abuse that we see in this community darn near every day. Like I said, Madam Speaker, I'm disappointed that this is even the discussion this evening, because our people deserve better and they deserve more from us than this. But by all means, I don't think it can go by and not be acknowledged. If Senator Parkinson had apologized early on, this would have been a non-issue, at least not an issue that would have gone this far. But when you lie about it, makes me wonder, what else do you lie about? What else do you try to cover up? But colleagues, you vote with your conscience and let the people of Guam decide. But for me, I don't mind being a girl, but I sure as heck don't think I or any other woman or young person in this community should put up with this kind of harassment. And with that, I have no further comment. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Brown. Anyone else wishing to speak on the main? If not, Speaker Therese.
None of us is perfect. I'll be the first to admit I lose my temper. I raise my voice. I do all kinds of things that have been highly criticized. I'm not proud of them, trying to make myself better, and I will continue to do that. But we are in the middle of an era on Guam where sexual abuse is prevalent. It's not an exception, it's prevalent. And we as a legislature have tried to stop that by making stiffer penalties, by changing the items necessary to prove these things, to make it easier for victims to report these things because they're the most underreported crimes. They're most difficult to prosecute. Sexual crimes happen because perpetrators believe they will be hidden. Sometimes they are purposely secretive and hidden. Sometimes they are telling their victims under threat not to report these things, because these perpetrators believe they will not be held accountable. Not by our system, not by their friends, not by their neighbors. Because, quote, boys will be boys, unquote. Because of loyalty, like the boys' club. Because they accuse the women who object that they are on a witch hunt. A witch hunt, by the way. I don't recall any male witches that were ever persecuted, hunted, and killed. They feel protected because, even without an apology, they are forgiven by other men on behalf of us women What? This is something before the legislative body. It is official business. It is an official question answerable to the people of Guam of whether we believe this behavior is acceptable or not towards women in the floor, towards women in the workplace, towards women in schools, girls in schools, women in their homes, anywhere. Across the nation, it's very rare that sexual harassment is witnessed. The world, or the nation at least, has embraced slogans like enough, no more, and other actions. And all of this in hopes of giving victims, the people who are suffering this type of harassment, the confidence that no position of power allows sexual harassment. No position, no place. And I would like, by this resolution, particularly where there has been no apology, to say no more. Not this legislature, not any legislature. I don't care what the Urban Dictionary says. That's not how we run a legislature. That's not what we allow for our women and girls on Guam. And that's not what we are going to accept from the men. And I know this is not easy. Like I said, there is no joy. But I really want to thank Mayor Alec for doing what he felt was his duty. Not just once, but repeatedly. To say what he knows to be truth. For those in the session who are willing to do that. In an effort. And believe me, I do not want to be the person who's in the TV in the homes of our Manamco talking about sexually explicit gestures of male masturbation angled towards any female senator. But if that's what it takes to stop it, then that's what we're going to have to do. Again, in the absence of remorse. So it's a very unfortunate day. Not at all something I ever wanted to do while I am in here. But we fight for women and girls every day. We just have to make a decision in here. Whether we are the all-boys club, where loyalty to each other overrides loyalty to the people of Guam, to the women and girls of Guam. And what is acceptable? Whether you are a daughter, a father, a mother, a brother or a sister, what is acceptable? And what example are we setting? Because we can stiffen penalties, but if we can't hold ourselves accountable, then that's for naught. So again, I thank my colleagues who were willing to join me in sponsoring this resolution, and I hope that they will join, that all my colleagues would join me in voting on this resolution. Sizuas Masi.
On the motion, Speaker.
So I reiterate my motion to place resolution 579-37 COR to the third reading for voting.
On that motion, are there any objections? You, there is an objection. All those in favor of the motion of the resolution, on the motion for the resolution to be placed on the third reading file, please signify by raising your hand. Motion carries.
We have exhausted the second reading file. We are now on the third reading file. By Speaker, you are recognized.
Madam Speaker, if I may, move at this time, Bill number 365-37 be voted on without engrossment. And if I'm stand corrected, I know that we've been working with legal, but in the interest of time.
On that motion, is there any objection? Seeing. Yes, 365. You want to read the title? All right. Here, I have the title. It is an act to add a new Chapter 17 to Part 2.
I'll read it.
Go ahead.
Bill number 365-37, COR, as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue, and Taxation, Labor, Procurement, and Research, Statistics, and Planning, and further substituted on the floor, is introduced by Sabina Flores Perez, which is an act to add a new Chapter 17 to Part 2, Division 1, Title 18, Guam Code annotated, relative to establishing the Guam Uniform Limited Cooperative Association Act. Madam Speaker.
On the motion to vote without engrossment, is there any objection? Seeing no objection, that motion carries. Vice Speaker, you're recognized.
And Madam Speaker, on the motion to to vote on Resolution 579-37 COR, as introduced by yourself, Speaker Teresa M. Terlahi, Minority Leader Frank Blas, Senator Tello Tadegui, Senator Chris Barnett, Senator Sabina Flores Perez, Senator Jesse A. Lahan, Senator Joanne Brown, which is relative to censuring the disorderly sexually explicit gesture committed by Senator William A. Parkinson during the October 2024 emergency legislative session, to vote without engrossment.
On that motion to vote on the resolution without engrossment, is there any objection? Seeing no objection, that motion carries. All right, we will now begin consideration of the daily file with the third reading file. Yes, Vice Speaker, do you have another motion to excuse?
Madam Speaker, I do apologize. Can we please motion to excuse the members not present at this time?
There's a motion to excuse those not present for voting. Is there any objection? Seeing no objection, that motion carries. All right, we are now on Bill number 263-37 COR. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 263-37 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, and further amended on the floor. Introduced by William A. Parkinson, Tello T. Tadegui, Tina Rose Munya Barnes, Chris Barnett, Frank Blas Jr., Joanne M. Brown, Christopher M. Duenas, Thomas J. Fisher, Jesse A. Lujan, Sabina Flores Perez, Roy A. B. Kanata, Joe S. San Augustine, Dwayne T. D. San Nicolas, Amanda L. Shelton, Therese M. Terlahi. An act to transfer lot number 3458-R1 in the municipality of Chalampago, Ordot, from the Department of Parks and Recreation to the Office of Chalampago, Ordot Mayor, and to amend sections 40113B6 of Article 1, Chapter 40, Title 5, Guam Code Annotated.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Duenas. Senator Duenas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Tadegui. Senator Tadegui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 263-37 COR received 12 ayes and 3 excused and is duly passed by this body. We're now on Bill number 272-37. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 272-37 COR, as amended on the floor. Introduced by Sabina Flores Perez, Therese M. Terlahi, Chris Barnett, Roy A.B. Kanata, Jesse A. Lujan, Tina Rose Munoz-Barnes, Frank Blas Jr., Joanne M. Brown, Christopher M. Duenas, Thomas J. Fisher, William A. Parkinson, Joe S. St. Augustine, Dwayne T.D. St. Nicholas, Amanda L. Shelton, Telo T. Tadigui. An act to amend Section 5252 of Sub-Article G, Article 3, Chapter 5, Title 5, Guam Code Annotated, relative to modernizing the retention and dissemination of the procurement record and promoting transparency and efficiency in the government of Guam.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Duenas. Senator Duenas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munoz-Barnes. Vice Speaker Munoz-Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator St. Augustine. Senator St. Augustine excused. Senator St. Nicholas. Senator St. Nicholas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Tadigui. Senator Tadigui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 272-37 COR received 12 ayes and 3 excused and is duly passed by this body. Bill number 276-37. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 276-37 LS, as amended on the floor, introduced by Chris Barnett, Sabina Flores Perez, Joanne M. Brown, Tina Rose Munoz-Barnes, Therese M. Terlahi, Telo T. Tadigui, Frank Blas Jr., Christopher M. Duenas. An act to add a new subsection R to Section 3103 of Article 1, Chapter 3, Title 17, Guam Code Annotated, relative to requiring that all reports of the Superintendent of Education to the Guam Education Board be posted on the Guam Department of Education website.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Duenas. Senator Duenas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munoz-Barnes. Vice Speaker Munoz-Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator St. Augustine. Senator St. Augustine excused. Senator St. Nicholas. Senator St. Nicholas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Tadigui. Senator Tadigui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 276-37 LS received 12 ayes and 3 excused and is duly passed by this body. Bill number 279-37. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 279-37 LS, introduced by Chris Barnett, William A. Parkinson, Tina Rose Munoz-Barnes, Jesse A. Lujan, Amanda L. Shelton, Christopher M. Duenas, Joe S. St. Augustine, Therese M. Terlahi, Dwayne T.D. St. Nicholas, Joanne M. Brown, Frank Blas Jr., Roy A.B. Kanata. An act to add a new section 849.17 to Article 1 of Chapter 8, Title 1, Guam Code Annotated, relative to renaming the Hogat Southern Precinct as the Senator Jose T. Pito Terlahi Police Station.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Duenas. Senator Duenas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munoz-Barnes. Vice Speaker Munoz-Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator St. Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Titagui. Senator Titagui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 279-37 LS received 12 ayes and 3 excused and is duly passed by this body. Bill number 332-37 COR. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 332-37 COR, as amended on the floor, introduced by William A. Parkinson, an act to amend sections 8601 I2, A602A, B, and D, and 8603 of Article 6, Chapter 8, Title 12, Guam Code Annotated, relative to the Virtual Power Plant Program.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, nay. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, nay. Senator Duenas. Senator Duenas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, pass. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Titagui. Senator Titagui, nay. Speaker Terlahi.
Pass.
Speaker Terlahi, pass. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, nay. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 332-37 COR received 8 ayes, 4 nays, and 3 excused, and is duly passed by this body. Bill number 351-37 COR. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 351-37 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, and further amended on the floor. Introduced by Frank Blanche Jr., Joanne M. Brown, Tello T. Taidegui, Jesse A. Lujan, William A. Parkinson, Dwayne T. D. St. Nicholas, Christopher M. Duenas, Therese M. Terlahi, Chris Barnett. An act to amend Section 7.10A of Article 1, Chapter 7, Title 9, Guam Code Annotated, relative to exemptions from criminal liability due to juvenile status, and to amend Section 5106 of Chapter 5, Title 19, Guam Code Annotated, relative to the jurisdiction of the Superior Court of Guam.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Duenas. Senator Duenas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator St. Nicholas. Senator St. Nicholas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Taidegui. Senator Taidegui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 351-37 COR received 12 ayes and 3 excused, and is duly passed by this body. Bill number 356-37 COR. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 356-37 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, and further amended on the floor. Introduced by Therese M. Terlahi. An act to amend Section 10407 of the Guam Board Allied Health Examiners Administrative Rules and Regulations adopted in Public Law 36-138 relative to including licensed professional counselors as clinical supervisors and mandating licensed clinical psychologists or psychiatrists licensed in Guam to hold a license for a minimum of 3 years.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Duenas. Senator Duenas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator St. Nicholas. Senator St. Nicholas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Taidegui. Senator Taidegui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 356-37 COR received 12 ayes and 3 excused, and is duly passed by this body. We're now on bill number 358-37 COR. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 358-37 COR, introduced by Chris Barnett. An act to add a new section 90.16.2 to Article 1 of Chapter 90, Title 9, Guam Code Annotated, relative to salary recruitment and retention studies for law enforcement officers employed by the Guam Department of Corrections.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Dueñas. Senator Dueñas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Muñoz-Barnes. Vice Speaker Muñoz-Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Canata. Senator Canata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Taitigui. Senator Taitigui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 358-37 COR received 12 ayes and 3 excused and is duly passed by this body. Bill number 368-37 LS. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 368-37 LS, as amended on the floor, introduced by Dwayne T.D. San Nicolas, Tello T. Taitigui, Jesse A. Lujan, Joanne M. Brown, Chris Barnett, Frank Blanche Jr., Sabina Flores Perez, Therese M. Terlahi. An act to amend subsection N7 of Section 1, Chapter 5, Public Law 37-125, General Appropriations Act of 2025, relative to allocating funds for the renovation, maintenance, repairs, and the procurement of security system materials, property, vehicles, and equipment for the Department of Corrections, Adult Correction Facility, and the Hagåtña Detention Facility.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Dueñas. Senator Dueñas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Muñoz-Barnes. Vice Speaker Muñoz-Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Canata. Senator Canata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Taitigui. Senator Taitigui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 368-37 LS received 12 ayes and 3 excused and is duly passed by this body. Bill number 472-37 LS. Clerks, please read the title.
Resolution number 472-37 LS, introduced by Tello T. Taitigui, Joanne M. Brown, Frank Blanche Jr., Chris Barnett, Therese M. Terlahi, Jesse A. Lujan, Sabina Flores Perez, Joe S. San Augustine, William A. Parkinson, Tina Rose Muñoz-Barnes, Christopher M. Dueñas, Dwayne T.D. San Nicolas, Roy A.B. Canata, relative to requesting the United States Department of Veterans Affairs to establish a regional office on Guam to service the needs of veterans on Guam, the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, and the freely associated states.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Dueñas. Senator Dueñas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Muñoz-Barnes. Vice Speaker Muñoz-Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Canata. Senator Canata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Taitigui. Senator Taitigui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Resolution number 472-37LS received 12 ayes and 3 excused and is duly adopted by this body. Bill number 363-37 COR. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 363-37 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, and further amended on the floor. Introduced by Therese M. Terlahi. An act to amend Section 63506C of Article 5, Chapter 63, Title 5, Guam Code Annotated, relative to memorandums of agreement under the Guam Forest System Plan, and to adopt the Guam Forest System Plan attached hereto as Exhibit A in accordance with the provisions of Article 5, Chapter 63, Title 5, Guam Code Annotated, the Guam Forestry Legacy Act of 2012.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Dueñas. Senator Dueñas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Muñoz Barnes. Vice Speaker Muñoz Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Taitigui. Senator Taitigui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 363-37 COR received 12 ayes and 3 excused and is duly passed by this body. Vice Speaker, you are recognized.
Madam Speaker, if I may, based on statute, I'd like not to move notwithstanding to continue the voting or to move to stop the clock. Move to extend the time based on the standing rules, notwithstanding.
There's a motion notwithstanding the rules to allow us to continue voting beyond 10 p.m., notwithstanding the standing rules. Is there any objection to that motion? Seeing no objection, that motion carries. We continue with Bill number 250-37LS. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 250-37LS, as amended by the Committee on Education, Public Safety, and the Arts, and further amended on the floor. Introduced by Christopher M. Dueñas, Chris Barnett, Frank Blas Jr., Thomas J. Fisher, Dwayne T.D. San Nicolas, Jesse A. Lujan, Tina Rose Muñoz Barnes, William A. Parkinson. An act to add a new Chapter 94 to Title 9 Guam Code Annotated relative to establishing a multi-agency unified law enforcement group for the purposes of suppressing the importation, distribution, and selling of narcotics and illicit drugs on Guam.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, nay. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, nay. Senator Dueñas. Senator Dueñas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Muñoz Barnes. Vice Speaker Muñoz Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, nay. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Taitigui. Senator Taitigui, nay. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, nay.
Bill number 250-37LS received 7 ayes, 5 nays, and 3 excused. Because there are only 13 members present, this is duly passed by the body. Bill number Bill number 365-37 COR without engrossment. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 365-37 COR, as amended by the Committee on Environment, Revenue and Taxation, Labor, Procurement and Research, Statistics and Planning, and further substituted on the floor. Introduced by Sabina Flores Perez, Therese M. Tulahi, Chris Barnett. An act to add a new Chapter 17 to Part 2, Division 1, Title 18, Guam Code Annotated, relative to establishing the Guam Uniform Limited Cooperative Association Act.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Dueñas. Senator Dueñas, nay. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher, excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, nay. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, pass. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine, excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton, excused. Senator Taitigui. Senator Taitigui, aye. Speaker Tulahi. Speaker Tulahi, aye. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, aye.
Bill number 365-37 COR received 10 ayes, 2 nays, and 3 excused, and is duly passed by this body. Bill number 337-37 COR. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 337-37 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, and further amended on the floor. Introduced by Roy A.B. Kanata, Dwayne T.D. San Nicolas, Joe S. San Augustine. An act to authorize Imaga Hagen Guahan to condemn and purchase 1,149 square meters of private lot number 215-2-1-2, Municipality of Asamaina, to provide for further legal development of a necessary drainage ditch and ponding basin in the Municipality of Asamaina.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Dueñas.
Madam Chair, at this time I ask that the body excuse me from voting. As I mentioned earlier today, the subject matter individual, this recipient of the proceeds and benefit of this legislation is my first cousin, Louis Dueñas, and it's not proper for me to vote. Sizus Masi.
On the motion to excuse the senator from voting on this bill, is there any objection? Seeing no objection, that motion carries.
Senator Dueñas, excused. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher, excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine, excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton, excused. Senator Titagui. Senator Titagui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 337-37 COR received 11 ayes and 4 excused and is duly passed by this body. Bill number 379-37 COR. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 379-37 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, introduced by Therese M. Chalahi. An act to authorize the Chamorro Land Trust Commission and the Department of Land Management to realign the Bull Cart Trail from the north portion of Lot 2019-REM through the north portion of Lot 2121-2-R1 and to allow the owners to consolidate their lots for seamless development.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Duenas. Senator Duenas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher, excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine, excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton, excused. Senator Titagui. Senator Titagui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 379-37 COR received 12 ayes and 3 excused and is duly passed by this body. Bill number 381-37 COR. Clerks, please read the title.
Bill number 381-37 COR, as amended by the Committee on Health, Land, Justice, and Culture, introduced by Therese M. Chalahi. An act to authorize the Chamorro Land Trust Commission to sell 1,580 square meters of an existing bull cart trail through lots 5045, 5051B, and 5046B in the municipality of Tamaning, formerly municipality of Derrito, or to authorize the CLTC to transfer to the Department of Land Management and authorize DLM to exchange 1,580 square meters of the bull cart trail for approximately 13,101 square meters of a 60-foot wide public easement through consolidated lots 5045, 5051B, and 5046B in the municipality of Tamaning, formerly municipality of Derrito.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Duenas. Senator Duenas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher, excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine, excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton, excused. Senator Titagui. Senator Titagui, aye. Speaker Terlahi. Speaker Terlahi, aye.
Bill number 381-37 COR received 12 ayes and 3 excused and is duly passed by this body. Bill number Resolution number 579-37 COR. Clerks, please read the title.
Resolution number 579-37 COR, introduced by Therese M. Chalahi, Frank Blas Jr., Tello T. Tadigui, Chris Barnett, Sabina Flores Perez, Jesse A. Lujan, Joanne M. Brown, relative to censoring the disorderly, sexually explicit gesture committed by Senator William A. Parkinson during the October 2024 emergency legislative session.
Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Dueñas. Senator Dueñas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Muñoz-Barnes. Vice Speaker Muñoz-Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson.
At this time, I would like to recuse myself as I have not been afforded due process under the court of law.
Is that a motion, Senator? On the motion to excuse the senator from voting, is there any objection? Seeing no objection, motion carries.
Senator Parkinson excused. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, nay. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator Siniclis. Senator Siniclis, nay. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Tadigui. Senator Tadigui, aye. Speaker Chalahi. Speaker Chalahi, aye.
Resolution number 579-37 COR received 9 ayes, 2 nays, and 4 excused. Resolution number 579-37 COR is duly adopted by the body. We've completed the third reading file. We are now on the voting file. The first item is Bill number 362-37. Clerks, please read the title. The question will be, shall vetoed Bill number 362-37 COR pass, notwithstanding the objections of Imaga Hagan Guahan? Clerks, please read the title.
Vetoed Bill number 362-37 COR, an act to add a new section 5215.1 to sub-article B of Article 3, Chapter 5, Title 5, Guam Code Annotated, relative to granting special crisis procurement authority for the Guam Fire Department to meet the criteria set by the National Fire Protection Association Standard 1710, and to ensure that there are sufficient stocked and equipped ambulances for emergency medical responses.
Shall vetoed Bill number 362-37 COR pass, notwithstanding the objections of Imaga Hagan Guahan? Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Dueñas. Senator Dueñas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Muñoz-Barnes. Vice Speaker Muñoz-Barnes, pass. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, nay. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, nay. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator Siniclis. Senator Siniclis, nay. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Tadigui. Senator Tadigui, aye. Speaker Chalahi. Speaker Chalahi, aye. Vice Speaker Munya-Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya-Barnes, aye.
Vetoed bill number 362-37 COR received 9 ayes, 3 nays, and 3 excused. Vetoed bill number 362-37 COR failed override. Shall vetoed bill number 227-37 COR pass, notwithstanding the objections of Imagahagan Guahan? Clerks, please read the title.
Vetoed Bill Number 227-37 COR, an act to amend Section 1909I of Chapter 19, Title I, Guam Code Annotated, relative to enhancing the independent status of the Office of Public Accountability by continuously appropriating 1/4% of the Government of Guam's annual budget to the OPA.
Shall vetoed bill 227-37 COR pass, notwithstanding the objections of Imagahagan Guahan? Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Dueñas. Senator Dueñas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munya-Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya-Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, nay. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Canata. Senator Canata, nay. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, nay. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Taitigui. Senator Taitigui, aye. Speaker Chalahi. Speaker Chalahi, aye.
Vetoed bill number 227-37 COR received 9 ayes, 3 nays, and 3 excused, and failed override. All right. These votes will be by raising your hand. On the nomination of Jolene M. Uggan, MD, to serve as a member, physician representative of the Guam Board of Medical Examiners. All in favor, please raise your hand. Jolene M. Uggan, MD, received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Carlos Madrid Alvarez Pioneer, PhD, to serve as a member of the Hagatna Restoration and Redevelopment Authority Board of Commissioners, all in favor, please raise your hand. Carlos Madrid Alvarez Pioneer, PhD, received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Lisa A. Baza Cruz, EDD, to serve as a member of the Guam Commission for Education Certification. All in favor, please raise your hand. Lisa A. Baza Cruz, EDD, received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Teresa Demian Borja, DPM, FACFAS, to serve as a member, Allied Health Professions Representative of the Guam Memorial Hospital Authority Board of Trustees. All in favor, please raise your hand. Teresa Demian Borja, DPM, FACFAS, received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Lisa Marie Cooper Nurse, EDD, to serve as a member of the Guam Commission for Educator Certification, all in favor, please raise your hand. Lisa Marie Cooper Nurse, EDD, received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Maria G. Cruz to serve as a member of the Guam Ancestral Lands Commission, all in favor, please raise your hand. Maria G. Cruz received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Maria Eugenia H. Leon Guerrero to serve as a member of the Hagatna Restoration and Redevelopment Authority Board of Commissioners, all in favor, please raise your hand. Maria Eugenia H. Leon Guerrero received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Suzanne D. Lobaton, DNP MN RN COHN-S, to serve as a member, Guam Nursing Association representative of the Guam Memorial Hospital Authority Board of Trustees. All in favor, please raise your hand. Suzanne D. Lobaton, DNP MN RN COHN-S, received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Candy C. Okuhama to serve as a member of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board, all in favor, please raise your hand. Candy C. Okuhama received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Shinsaku Taira to serve as a member of the Guam Economic Development Authority Board of Directors, all in favor, please raise your hand. Shinsaku Taira received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination, this will be by roll call. On the nomination of Darren D. Burrier to serve as the Fire Chief of the Guam Fire Department, roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Duenas. Senator Duenas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher, excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, aye. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, aye. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, aye. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine, excused. Senator Siniclis. Senator Siniclis, aye. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton, excused. Senator Taitigui. Senator Taitigui, aye. Speaker Tulahi. Speaker Tulahi, aye.
Darren D. Burrier received 12 ayes, 3 excused, and is duly confirmed by this body. We're going to raise our hands. On the nomination of Rosie R. Tainatongo to serve as a member of the A.B. Wampat International Airport Authority Board of Directors, all in favor, please raise your hands. Rosie R. Tainatongo received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Brian J. Bomba to serve as a member of the A.B. Wampat International Airport Authority Board of Directors, all in favor, please raise your hand. Brian J. Bomba received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Lucy M. Alcorn to serve as a member of the A.B. Wampat International Airport Authority Board of Directors, all in favor, please raise your hand. Lucy M. Alcorn received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of John Paul K. Durking to serve as a member of the Department of Parks and Recreation Commission, all in favor, please raise your hand. John Paul K. Durking received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. On the nomination of Edward F. Ujoa to serve as a member of the University of Guam Board of Regents, all in favor, please raise your hand. Edward F. Ujoa received majority support and is duly confirmed by this body. Shall vetoed Bill 185-37 LS pass, notwithstanding the objections of Imagahagan Guahan? Clerks, please read the title.
Vetoed Bill number 185-37 LS, an act to add a new section 83117 to Chapter 83 of Title 12, Guam Code Annotated, relative to requiring any new hospital constructed pursuant to the Guam 21st Century Healthcare Center Act of 2021 to be constructed on Lot 5173-1-R2, new-R7, Lot 5173-1-R2, new-7, and Lot 5173-1-R2, new-6 in the village of Tumuning.
Shall veto Bill number 185-37 LS pass, notwithstanding the objections of Imagahagan Guahan? Roll call.
Senator Barnett. Senator Barnett, aye. Senator Blas. Senator Blas, aye. Senator Brown. Senator Brown, aye. Senator Dueñas. Senator Dueñas, aye. Senator Fisher. Senator Fisher excused. Senator Lujan. Senator Lujan, aye. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes. Vice Speaker Munya Barnes, nay. Senator Parkinson. Senator Parkinson, nay. Senator Perez. Senator Perez, aye. Senator Kanata. Senator Kanata, nay. Senator San Augustine. Senator San Augustine excused. Senator San Nicolas. Senator San Nicolas, nay. Senator Shelton. Senator Shelton excused. Senator Tadigui. Senator Tadigui, aye. Speaker Tulahi. Speaker Tulahi, aye.
Vetoed Bill number 185-37 LS received 8 ayes, 4 nays, and 3 excused. Vetoed Bill number 185-37 LS failed to override. We've exhausted our consideration of the daily file, both the third reading and the voting file. Senator Barnett, you're recognized.
Madam Speaker, and buenas noches to the people of Guam. Thank you for staying with us on this late night. At this time, Madam Speaker, I'd like to make a motion to recess until December 30th at 9 a.m. in anticipation of any vetoes from the governor.
The motion to recess until December 30th at 9 a.m. Is there any objection? Seeing no objection, we will be in recess until December 30 at 9 a.m. Recess.